Good morning, GRIZZ here. How's everybody this morning? Just wanted to say welcome to Monday. It's always good to start off your day on a positive, and your week on a positive note. You know, how do you stay positive? What how do you stay positive? Everything that's happened to me recently, I stay positive by going to the Bible every morning. Um, for me, it's much easier to know that there's somebody that has my back, and that somebody is God. And I've seen it at work. Yeah. So that's how I stay positive. What do you do to stay positive? And positive, I'm here on day 88. So I've had to stay positive for quite a while. And during that time I've been sick and haven't felt good, but I stay positive. Um, so I stay positive by going to the Bible and giving my negative to God. It's got to go away. You have to say something about it. You have to do something about it. You have to get purged from your system, the negative. Because if you don't, it's just going to sit there and fester and turn into poison. I've learned that. I met several people who just let that happen. That's sad. So don't let the negative fester into a poison that poisons your heart, your soul, your mind, to other people, to yourself, to the things around you. You know, I hear people say, well, I'm destined to be that way. So it is what it is, whatever. I'll deal with it. And then they don't. It's going to happen. I'll never amount to anything because all I get is negative. When I was growing up, my grandfather, God rest his soul, would tell me, if you say you can, you're correct. If you say you can't, you're correct. I didn't understand that when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. I do now. Because when you tell your mind that this is negative and that's all that I'm counting in, that's all your subconscious allows in. That's all your subconscious attracts you to. Because you've already convinced your subconscious of this, it sees it as reality, whether it is or not. And that's something I've had to learn. So think about that. Again, I think I mentioned this, Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich said that every rich person, every ruler, had one thing in common, one thing. Whether they had different beliefs or different, they all said that you are what you contemplate. You become what you think about. Your mind seeks what you want. So I've decided to start seeking what I now. I want world peace, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But I'm finding that my mind is finding peace for me in the world. Right? Makes sense. So on that note, this is going to be a short video. I'm a little late this morning, but I just wanted to touch base. My shirt, so this is a freshly clean shirt. It's fitting, wonderful. They're starting to get loose. My mind is positive. My body's starting to have positive effects. A year from now, I want to be able to say it was just a short phase in my life. That's what I'm picturing. Me healthy. Me healthy and financially independent. Those are the things I'm picturing every day. And spreading unconditional love across the country. 2020 has made me think a lot about how I care about my fellow human beings. And an outward show of virtue is not how I live. That is not loving your human being. Putting a mask on, I'm going to flat out say it, putting a mask on so that the guy over there feels better is contributing to what his mind is thinking, and his mind is only thinking, I'm going to catch something evil and die. You're playing to his fear. You're not helping him in a positive sense. And I can't do that. You know, right is right, even if you're the only person doing it. So these are things that we have to weigh as human beings, as Christians, as atheists, as Mormons, as you know, as Muslims. Everybody has to weigh these things and stop blindly following what other people's interpretation of something is, what their idea of virtue is. I'll leave you with this. The math thing is like, for those of you Christians, and this is a Christian look on it, it's not meant to offend anybody, it's just the way I see it. Everybody says, well, if Jesus was alive, he'd wear a mask. And I'm telling you right now, well, when Jesus was alive, there was such thing as Pharisees and Sadducees, and then the everyday sinner. Pharisees and Sadducees were quote unquote experts on the law and didn't sin. You could see it every day. Their virtue was out there in plain sight for everybody to see. And Christ said, I tell you right now, they have their reward. Those who do things, do good in secret, build rewards in heaven. I can't quote you scripture and verse, but I can find it. I guarantee it's there. I have a buddy that can do that. I love the guy. I mean, I can tell you something. He's like, oh yeah, it's right here. It's like, well, thank you. At least I remember the verse. But the facts are, he wouldn't. He wouldn't, because who are you supposed to fear? The only being you're supposed to fear is God. You're not supposed to fear humans. You're not supposed to fear anything else that can happen to you. Because God's supposed to be in control. If God's in control and we're forcing people to do something because we're afraid, that's an evil act. That is not a good act. Forcing people to do something because you're afraid is not a good thing. On that note, GRIZZ out. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in.